my name is Frankie and I'm taking you for a chair-based exercise class today. So we're going to get ourselves into our working position. So we're going to have those feet, those heels underneath those knees going straight up, and we're going to need to sit nice and tall in our chair. So right now you're probably sitting back, you're probably using the back of your chair for support. I want us to pull our backs away from the back of the chair. So you're sitting up nice and tall. You're going to have to use your core to support yourself when you're up here. So you're not using the back of the chair. You've got to imagine you've got a bit of string on the top of your head pulling you up. So once you've got that nice working position, we're going to move ourselves to the front of the chair. So we're going to bum shuffle, lifting our feet as we go and bringing ourselves so we're sitting right on the edge. Your feet need to be below your knees, so just double check that again. And we're still sitting up nice and tall. So you're lifting the chest, pushing the shoulders down, pulling that string up, really sitting up tall. So the first thing we're going to do once we've got that working position is we're going to warm up the body. We're going to take it nice and slow at first, and we're just going to gently start lifting the toes up off the floor in our toe taps. So you're going to keep your heels on the floor as you do this. And lift them up nice and steady, getting a little bit of movement in that body. We need to warm ourselves up so that when we start doing our strength exercises, those muscles are nice and warm, and then that way we can push a little bit harder. So keep lifting those toes up. The speed is up to you. You can stay with me, go faster or go slower. It's completely up to you. And then when you're ready, we're going to start doing some heel raises in 3, 2, 1. So start lifting the heels up now. So it's very similar to the toe taps, but instead of having the heels on the floor, you've got your toes on the floor, lifting your heels. And again, it's up to you how high you lift them, and the speed is up to you as well. Just keep it nice and steady. Make sure you're still sitting up nice and tall. Rechecking that posture all the time. So now that we've got a little bit of movement going on in the legs, we're probably feeling a little bit warmer there. We're now going to start taking it up a level. So in 3, 2, 1, we're going to start with our leg march. So we're lifting one leg at a time, as high as you feel comfortable, but trying to get a little bit higher every time. And as you get used to the move, you'll probably feel a little bit more comfortable lifting it up a bit further. When you're lifting up your leg, you lift your heel first from your foot and then your toes. And then when you're putting them back down, your toes go down first and you roll through your foot until your foot is flat on the floor. So now that those legs are a little bit warmer, we're going to go to an arm swing in 3, 2, 1. So now we're going to swing those arms for me. So we're warming up the upper body now. The lower body's a bit warmer. It's the upper body's turn. So swing those arms for me. The most important part of this move is the backwards motion. So try and make sure you're driving those elbows back behind you as far as they'll go, as far as your shoulders will allow. As you get a little bit warmer and your shoulders get a bit looser, you might be able to go a bit further. So keep driving them back, keeping it steady. We're going to go back to the leg march in 3, 2, 1. Rest your arms and start moving those legs again. So we're definitely warmer now. We've been doing this for a few minutes. So now we might be able to go a little bit faster with those leg marches. We also might be able to lift those legs a little bit higher than before. So keep lifting that foot completely off the floor. Heel first and then toes first on the way back down. Keep it going nice and steady. From here, we are going to go to a tap and a clap. When I say we're going to tap our legs with our hands and clap in front of us. In 3, 2, 1. Rest your legs, tap and clap, tap and clap. Nice and steady. Staying with me for the speed if you want to, or going a bit faster or a bit slower. It's completely up to you. If it hurts to lift your shoulders so high, keep them nice and low. Nice and steady, keeping those arms moving. If you can, lift them up a little bit higher, warming up those shoulders as we do, and also we're testing that coordination, making our brains work as well as our bodies. We're going to go back to that leg march in 3, 2, 1. Back to that leg march for me. So this is the 3rd time we're doing the leg marches now. So come on, let's push that body a little bit more. Let's make ourselves nice and warm. It's going to make all the other exercises we're doing today much easier if you're warm. You never want to go into them cold. So let's speed up the legs, even if it's just a little bit, and lift them higher, even if it's just a little bit. Keeping it going, keeping it moving. We're going to do it for 3, 2, 1. Rest your legs, wiggle that bum back into your seat and relax. So the next part of our exercise class we're doing today is our mobility exercises. So these are going to loosen up our joints and make them much easier to move when we're doing our strength exercises. So we need to get ourselves in our working position first. So feet are underneath the knees and we're sitting up nice and tall, not using the back of the chair. Now we're going to bum shuffle all the way to the front so that our legs are off the chair but the bum is on, and you're still sitting up nice and tall with your feet underneath your knees. So we're going to start by mobilizing the shoulders first. So we're going to do some shoulder lifts. So what we're going to do is we're going to be lifting the shoulders all the way up to the ears and then putting them back down. When we lift them, we're going to hold them up there for a few seconds and we'll do it all together. In 3, 2, 1. Lift your shoulders up to your ears, hold it there, feel your shoulders working, and then push them back down. And let's do that again. Lift them towards your ears. So you're lifting them up, holding it, and back down. That's 2. Let's do 2 more times. Lift it up and hold and put them down. Last one, lifting it up, holding it there and putting them back down. So now we're going to take those shoulders up to level 2. If this is not going to be comfortable for you, just stay with the shoulder lifts. But if you can, we're going to do shoulder circles. So you're going to bring your shoulders forward, lift them up to your ears and push them back and down. So it's one whole circle. So let's do that all together. In 3, 2, 1. You push your shoulders forward, lift them up, push them back and round. And let's do that again. Let's go straight into the next one. Nice big circle with those shoulders. Just stay with me for the speed. Let's go into number 3, coming forwards, up and round. And one more time. Forwards, up and round. Lovely. Let's check that posture. Make sure we're still sitting up nice and tall. So those shoulders are mobilized now. So next we're going to mobilize our trunk. So we're going to do some twists. We're going to be using the chair to do this. You're going to take one hand to the back of the chair. The other hand goes on the side of your leg, the side of your chair, wherever you feel comfortable. And you're going to twist your head, taking your body with you, and look over your back shoulder. So let's do that all together, taking the hand back to the back of the chair, holding it. Hand on the side of your body, on the side of your leg, it's up to you. And twisting to look back behind you. Looking over your shoulder, hold it here, and then come back to the centre. We're going to do exactly the same, but on the other side. So the hand goes to the back of the chair, hand goes on your side, looking behind you, getting a nice twist. So you might not be able to go very far yet, and release. But as we do this more, you might be able to go a bit further. So let's go back to the first side now. Hand on the back, hand on the side, pushing yourself a little bit deeper if you can, making it a bigger movement, looking back behind you and back to the centre. And let's do number 2 on the other side again, reaching around, looking behind you, feel that twist in your trunk. So that's in your tummy muscles, in your back muscles, and your muscles in your side. It's all the way around your middle. Let's do that again. reach back. So we're on the first side again. You might find that you can go a little bit further now that we've warmed up the body and we mobilised it a few times. You might be able to go a bit further. And back to the other side, hold it there, and back to the centre. And let's do it one more time on each side. Reach round, look behind you. This is the last time. So this is your chance to really try and get that good stretch, that good twist. Back to the centre, one more time on the other side. Final twist. And back to the centre. Next one we're going to do is our ankle activators. So these are going to get those ankles nice and mobilised. So what we're going to do is you're going to lift one, we're going to do one side at a time, lift one foot and place your toes on the floor, lifting your heel up. Still sitting up tall, I want you to look where your toes were and put your heel in the exact same spot. Okay? We're going to do it on one side, then on the other. So let's do one foot first. Lift the foot up and place the toes on the floor. Still sitting up tall, take a look and put your heel in the same spot, lifting those toes up. Let's do that again. Toes down and heel down in the same spot. And again, toes down and heel down. Let's do it one more time. Toes down and heel down. And place that foot flat on the floor. And let's do exactly the same on the other side now. So pick your foot up and place your toes on the floor, lifting the heel up. Take a look at where that spot is, but still sitting up tall, and put your heel in the exact same spot, lifting your toes up as you do this. And let's put the toes down again. And the heel down. And again for toes. And for heel. Let's do it one more time. Lift the foot up and place the toes down. Lift the foot up and place the heel down. And lift the foot up one more time and place it flat on the floor. So now those ankles are nice and loose. We've got one more mobilising exercise, and this is our side bend. So this is really going to mobilise the sides of our body. So I want you to have your hands either side of your body. Make sure you're still sitting up nice and tall. We're going to run one hand down the side of our chair, hold it as low as you feel comfortable, and then come back up. Okay, so choose which side you're going to start with. We're going to alternate sides. So hands on the side of the chair legs, and let's bend to the side. Make sure you keep both bum cheeks on the chair, and then that way you know you're not going to fall off. Back to the centre, and let's go down to the other side. Drop it down as far as you feel comfortable. Hold it, and then lift it back up. Let's go back to the first side. Slide it down. Similar to when we did the trunk twists, you might find that you can go a little bit further as you mobilise. To the other side, as your body becomes a little bit more warmer, a little bit more mobilised, you will be able to get further. That's it, dropping it down. This is the final time on each side. And let's do it one more time. Dropping it down and bringing it back up. Lovely. So now let's get ourselves back in the chair. So bum shuffle back and relax. So the next part of our class today is our strength work. So you're going to need your resistance band for this one, for the next three. So the first one we're going to do is our wrist strengthener. We'll need to get in our working position first. So feet underneath the knees, sitting up away from the back of the chair, nice and tall. We're going to bum shuffle forward so that our bum is on the edge of the chair and our legs are off. Recheck those feet, make sure they're under the knees, and recheck that posture so you're still sitting up nice and tall. The first one we're going to do is a strengthener for your wrists, all right? These are going to make your wrists stronger. So with the band, we're going to need to fold it up. So half it again, and keep going until you've got a little one like this. You need to be able to get both hands on the band, okay? So, watch me for the first one. I'm going to put my hand at the bottom of the little thing we've just made and hold it like it's an ice cream cone. With the other one, you're going to stack it on the top. So what we're going to do here is you're going to twist your wrists inwards. All right, you're going to do it in front of you. I just want you to have a look. So you're twisting your wrists together, so you're crossing them over. You're going to be doing that here in front of you. You twist, and then when you're ready, you pull apart. You're not going to be able to get much movement in it, but it's the pulling action that's going to really strengthen your wrists. If that is too much for you, just stay with the twist. Okay? So, get your band so it's looking a bit like this. It doesn't have to be very neat. It's up to you. Hold the bottom like an ice cream cone and stack the top hand over. All right. So when you're ready, you're going to twist your wrists together in 3, 2, 1. Twist your wrists in. Once you've got that and you want to, pull the band apart and you should feel it start to work your wrists. Release, stop pulling and untwist. Good, that's 1. We're going to do it another 9 times, so we do it 10 in total. Let's twist your wrists together so they cross over and pull apart. Pulling it and release. Untwist and relax. Good stuff. Let's check that posture. Make sure we're still sitting up nice and tall. And let's go again. Twist the wrists together. Pulling apart as strong as you can. And release it and untwist. Lovely. That's 3. We've got another 7 more. Twist together and pull apart. And release and uncross. Good. That's 4. Let's do number 5. Twist, pull, release and untwist. Good. Let's do it again for number 6. Cross your wrists and pulling apart. Release and uncross. Double check that posture, make sure we're still sitting up tall. It's always tempting to slouch a bit, but come on, push the chest up. And let's go again for number 7. Twist and pull. And release and untwist. Good. So this exercise is going to strengthen up your wrists. So when you're holding things and your wrists start to ache, this is the one that's going to help with that, all right? Make them a bit stronger. And let's cross them again. And pull apart. That's it. This is number 8. Release and uncross. We're going to do it another 2 times. Let's do number 9. Cross your wrists, pulling apart, release it down and uncross. We got 1 more time, so let's do it nice and strong. Twist and pull. See if you can get a little bit further. And release and uncross. Relax your hands down. Give your wrists a little circle just to loosen them up a bit. Let's shuffle back in that chair and relax. So the next strength exercise we're going to be doing is for our ankles. Okay, I will be moving the camera in a little bit closer so that you can see my ankles properly when we do this one. But for now, we're going to be having it up here, and I want us to get the band in the similar position to how we had it for the wrist strengthener. So you're going to fold it up nice and small like this. We're going to get ourselves in our working position, so shuffle your bum forward so that your bum's on the edge, your feet underneath your knees, and you're sitting up nice and tall. From here, you're going to put the little ball of the band in between your knees, and you have to hold it there when you're doing this. So we're breaking the rules slightly by not having our knees over our feet because the knees are going to be in slightly. But keep your heels where they were. And then from here, we're going to be turning our feet into the middle and lifting the big toe. We're then going to slide them so they're pointing out and lift the little toe. Okay? So, get yourselves in position. Sitting up tall, feet underneath the knees, and bum shuffle all the way to the front. Fold up your band nice and small and put it between your knees. So So now that you have a good view of my feet, you're going to be able to see what we're doing a little bit clearer. So we're going to be turning our feet into the middle all together now. Keep your heels where they are and turn your feet in so that your toes are touching. We're then going to lift them up and you should feel that ankle start to work. Put them back down and slide them all the way out as wide as they will go. And again, you're going to be lifting up your feet, holding it as high as you can, and put them down and slide them back in, all the while keeping your band in between your legs, big toes touching, and lifting them up high. Feel your ankles working. Down, slide them out wide, and lift again, keeping your heels on the floor as you do this. Put them back down. That's 2 times. We're doing it another 8 because we're going for 10. Big toes touching and lift them up high. Placing them back down, sending them out as wide as you can and lifting again. You really should feel those ankles working. Put them back down, slide your toes in. This is number 4 and lift. So this move is going to be helping you with lifting your feet up off the floor when you're walking. Out wide and lift, which means you're less likely to trip. And putting them back down, lift, take them back in. This is number 5. Do this one and you're halfway. Lift up your toes, place them down and send them out wide. Lift again for me. Feel those ankles work. Place them back down. You can see from my feet there is only a little movement, so don't worry if you can't lift them up super high. Even a little bit is going to be strengthening up those ankles. Put them down, send them out wide and lift again. Make sure your knees are together, squeeze in that band. Put your feet down, turn them in, toes touching and lift. Keeping it strong, working those ankles. Put them back down, twist them out wide and lift again. And down, back to the middle. This is number 8. And lift. And relax them down, slide them out wide and lift again. It's only a very small movement, but it's very effective at strengthening up those ankles. Let's do number 9. Toes together and lift. And toes down and wide and lift. Keeping your heels on the floor. And put them back down, slide them together and lift. This is the final time we're doing this. Final time. Put them back down, slide them out wide and lift again. Those ankles should feel like they've had a good work. And put them down, slide them so they're facing forward. Take the band out of your legs and sit up nice and tall. From here, we're going to wiggle ourselves back into our chair and relax. So the final strength exercise that we're going to do is our sit to stand. So we're going to be starting from the chair and we're going to be standing up and then sitting back down. Okay, you don't need your resistance band for this one. Watch me for the first one. We're going to get ourselves in the working position. So feet underneath the knees and sitting up tall. We're going to bum shuffle all the way to the front of the chair so that our bum is on the edge and our legs are off. Checking those feet and checking that posture. From here, we're going to take ourselves up to a standing position. So what we're going to do is, step 1 is sliding the feet back as far as they will go while still remaining flat on the floor. You're going to lean forward slightly, hands on your legs, and then when you're ready, you're going to drive up through your heels and come to a standing position. You're going to pedal your feet slightly, just to make sure that you're feeling okay, that you've got your balance, because you're going to get a big blood pressure rush as you stand up. Then when you're ready, you're going to move back just nice and slowly until you can feel the chair on the back of both of your legs. That way you know it's there and you know it's not going anywhere. Without looking behind you or turning, you're going to stick your bum out and slowly lower down into the chair. And that's it. So let's do them all together now. Feet underneath the knees, sitting up nice and tall. Let's bum shuffle to the front. Feet underneath the knees and sitting up nice and tall. Let's slide the feet back as far as they will go while still being flat on the floor. Have your hands on your legs for support. Lean forward slightly. And when you're ready, drive all the way up. It's a big movement with those legs. Let's pedal those feet, adjusting that body, making sure we feel okay. And then let's move the legs back so we can feel the chair on the back of both legs. You know it's there. Stick your bum out behind you and in your own time, come down to sitting. Lovely. That's one. We're doing it another 10 times. So come on, let's bum shuffle to the front. Nice and tall, feet under the knees. Slide the feet back so they're flat on the floor, but as far back as they will go. You're going to lean forward and driving up. Lovely. And pedal for me. Nice small movements, just making sure we feel okay. And then in your own time, come to the back of go back to your chair so you can feel it on the back of your legs. Stick your bum out behind you and in your own time, sitting down. And let's do it again. Let's bum shuffle to the front. Slide the feet back. Leaning forward and driving up and pedal. So this move is obviously going to make sure that we keep those legs nice and strong and help us getting in and out of the chair, in and out of the bed, up and down off the bus. Lots and lots of benefits for doing this one. Move back so you can feel the back of the chair. Bum out behind you and sitting down. Lovely. That's 3. Bum shuffle to the front. Feet below the knees. Sitting up tall. Slide your feet back. And lean. And pushing up. And pedal. Lovely. We're doing this 10 times. So it is going to be working that body quite hard. So make sure you go at your own pace. You don't have to stay with me if you don't want to. Back of the chair on the back of the legs. Sticking the bum out. And going down to sitting. Lovely. Lovely. Right, let's do number 5. Bum shuffle to the front. As far forward as you can. Feet below the knees. Sitting up nice and tall. Bring those feet back. So they're nice and flat, but as far back as they'll go. Lean forward, driving up and pedal. So your blood pressure can change as you go from a low position to a high position. And that's why we pedal those feet, just to make sure that we're feeling okay. Slide the feet back so you can feel the chair on the back of your legs and sticking the bum out behind you. And down into sitting. Lovely. Right, you're halfway. If you want to take a little break, that's absolutely fine, but otherwise we're going to carry on. So let's bum shuffle to the front. Feet underneath the knees, sitting up tall, sliding the feet back. Leaning forward and driving up through those legs. Pedal your feet. Nice and steady. So when you're getting up normally in everyday life, you can use these techniques to help you get up. Let's walk the feet back so you can feel the back of the chair. Stick that bum out and down into sitting. Lovely. Come on then, let's do number 7. Bum shuffle to the front. feet under the knees, sitting up tall, slide your feet back. And let's lean forward slightly, drive up through the legs, nice and tall, and add that pedal when you get there. Nice and steady. If you remember this when you're getting up normally out of your chair, you know you're going to be strengthening up those legs every time you do it. And let's walk those feet back. Feel the back of the chair. Stick your bum out and down into sitting. Lovely. We've got 3 more times. So let's bum shuffle to the front. Check the posture. Make sure we're still up nice and tall. As you get tired, you're going to hunch over. So sit up tall, feet under your knees. Slide them back. Lean forward and drive up through the legs and pedal. When you're driving, you should feel those legs muscles, those quads, really engage as they're working to push you up. And let's walk those feet back. Feel the back of the chair on both legs. You know it's there. Stick your bum out and down into sitting. Lovely. 2 more times. We got this. Sitting up tall, bum shuffle forward. Right to the edge of the chair. Feet under the knees, sitting up tall. Slide your feet back so they're flat on the floor. And then lean forward, shift your body weight into your heels and drive up and pedal. Keeping your balance. If you have a little wobble, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you're keeping that balance as best you can. And let's work our way back to the chair so you can feel it on the back of your legs. Stick your bum out behind you and sitting down. We've only got 1 more time, so let's do it together. Bum shuffle to the front, bringing your feet with you, under your knees, sitting up tall, and slide your feet back. This is the last one. Let's make it the best one yet. Leaning forward, drive up through your heels and pedal. Nice and steady. And let's walk back towards the chair so you can feel it on the back of your legs. You know it's there. Stick your bum out and sitting down. You should already be in the back of your chair, so take it easy and relax. After our strength exercises, we're going to have a nice good stretch to really help with their flexibility and keep you nice and supple. It's also going to release lots of the build-up of the proteins and the acids that we've built up while doing our strength exercises. So the first one we're going to do is the back of the thigh. So that's called your hamstring. So we're going to bum shuffle to the front of the chair. Feet under your knees, sitting up nice and tall still. We're going to put one leg out in front. You're going to make sure it's nice and relaxed. If this is enough for you, then that's fine, stay here, but otherwise you're going to lean forward. So let's do it all together. Let's bum shuffle forward. Feet under the knees, sitting up nice and tall. Choose which leg you want to start with and put it out in front. Wiggle it a little bit, make sure it's nice and relaxed because we're stretching the back of the leg, nowhere else. If you can feel that stretching with a nice straight leg, then stay here. But if you want to take it further, place your hands on your other leg and lean forward. Trying to keep your back nice and flat, all right? Try not to hunch round. Push your chest forward and your shoulders down. And you should feel that begin to stretch in the back of your leg here. So this is the stretch that helps you put your shoes and your socks on as you're leaning forward to do that. Good one to keep yourself flexible for. And coming back up and slide that foot back in. Let's do it again on the other side, exactly the same. Putting the leg out nice and long, give it a little wiggle to make sure it's relaxed apart from the back of the thigh. Make sure we're still sitting up tall, and if this is enough, stay here, but otherwise hands go on the bent knee and you're leaning forward, keeping that back flat. The chest is forward, the shoulders are back, and you should feel it stretching in the back of your thigh. Holding it here for a little bit longer, getting a little bit more out of the stretch if you can. And then coming back and bringing it in. Lovely. All right, so we're going to now move to the upper body and we're going to stretch our chest. So watch me for the first one. I'm going to have my hands back, holding the back of the chair. I'm then going to squeeze my shoulders and my elbows back, pushing my chest forward. And you should feel it stretching all the way across your chest. So let's do it together now. Feet under the knees, sitting up nice and tall. Hands go back to the back of the chair, holding that there. Now I want you to push your chest forward and squeeze your shoulders and your elbows together. Still sitting up nice and tall, and you should really be feeling that stretch all across your chest. We're making those lungs nice and big when we do this one, so you can get lots of oxygen in. It makes breathing much, much easier. And release it there, hands coming forward, and shake it out a little bit. Lovely. So we're going to go back to stretching the legs, but we're going to do the calf one now, all right? So this is this muscle down here. So it's very similar to the back of the thigh, but you're going to have your leg out nice and long, and this time I want you to imagine that you've got a piece of string attached to your toes. You're going to hold it and pull it back. So you should really feel that stretch in the back of your calf. And again, if you can feel it and you want to stay here, that's fine. Otherwise, lean forward slightly and get a little bit more out of the stretch. So you really should be feeling this one on the back of your calf. Really good to stretch it. It helps with your walking. Helps lift up your feet a bit more. And release. Put your toe down and slide it back, and we'll do that one again on the other side. So put the leg out nice and long, point the toes up, and then imagine that string and pull those toes towards you, and you should feel it stretching in the back of your thigh, back of your calf. And then if this is enough, then stay here. But otherwise, have your hands on your leg and lean forward ever so slightly. And a deeper stretch there. When you're ready, sit back up and slide your foot back. Lovely. So we've got one more stretch. So this is our up and over. This is going to stretch our triceps and also the side of our body here. So watch me for the first one. I'm going to touch my shoulder with my hand. My other arm is going to push it up into the air. And at this point, you should be feeling it stretching your tricep. After this, we're going to lift the hand straight up and you're going to lean across, and then you should feel it in the side of your body. So let's do it all together now. Choose which side you want to start on. Touch your shoulder with your hand. The other hand lifts it up into the air. So you should feel this in your tricep down here. Pushing it a little bit further if you can. Holding it here. And then when you're ready, extend the arm straight up and lean to the side. Make sure you're keeping both bum cheeks on the chair, and that way you won't go anywhere. And you're feeling this in the side of your body. And then coming back up, bend your elbow and support it on the way back down. Lovely. Now let's check that posture. Make sure we're still sitting up tall, and we're going to do it on the other side. Touching your shoulder, other arm lifts it up into the air, as tall as you can. Feel that stretch in your tricep. And when you're ready, extend the arm completely up and leaning across. Feel it in the side of your body. Make sure you keep both bum cheeks on the seat. That way you're not going anywhere. And coming back up, bend your elbow and support it on the way back down. And then we're going to bum shuffle back into the chair and relax. So the final part of our exercise class we're doing today is our pelvic floor exercises. We're going to be doing the pelvic floor exercises that stop us from having any little leaks when we're walking and we might accidentally trip a little bit. Sometimes you lose a little bit of control and you let out a little bit of wee. So these are the exercises that are going to stop that from happening. So you've got to make sure you're sitting nice and comfortably and nice and relaxed. The first thing we have to do is find our pelvic floor muscles. So our pelvic floor is a band of muscles that go underneath our body that help keep all of our insides in. So we've got to make sure they're nice and strong. So if you imagine that you're desperate for a wee and you've got to use those muscles that stop you from going to the toilet until you get there, okay? So once you've found those muscles, just give them a little squeeze, just a little squeeze and release. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be squeezing for a second or two and then releasing. And we're going to do it 10 times in total. So once you've found those muscles and you're happy with where they are, just make sure you're sitting nice and comfortably. Now, no one should know you're doing these exercises because the rest of your body is nice and relaxed. So it does mean that you can practice this at any time. So when you're ready, we're going to squeeze. I'm going to say squeeze and release. And we're going to do it 10 times in total. So 3, 2, 1, we squeeze and release. And let's do that again. Squeeze and release. That's 2. Let's do 3 for squeeze and release. 4, squeeze and release. 5, squeeze and release. 6 and release. 4 more, squeeze, release, and squeeze, release. Just 2 more times, let's squeeze it, and release. 1 more time, squeeze, and release, and relax. So that's the end of our exercise class today. I hope you enjoyed it. There should be a few more others on the YouTube as well. So make sure you browse through them to take a look at some different exercise classes. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.